interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we take a look at the sequel to the film we covered this past Wednesday, National Treasure 2: The Book of Secrets, starring Nicolas Cage, Justin Bartha, Diane Kruger, John Voight, Helen Mirren, Ed Harris, Harvey Keitel, Bruce Greenwood, and Ty Burrell. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And as I said during the introduction, today we're going to take a look at the sequel to the film we covered this past Wednesday. This is National Treasure 2: The Book of Secrets. And as our movie opens, it is April of 1865, exactly 5 days after the end of the Civil War, as Michael O'Loughlin and John Wilkes Booth, both members of the Knights of the Golden Circle, approach Thomas Gates in order to have him decode a message that is written in Booth's diary. Thomas recognizes the message as a Playfair cipher, and he begins to translate it while Booth departs for Ford's Theater in order to assassinate President Abraham Lincoln. Thomas solves the puzzle and realizes that Booth and O'Loughlin are trying to help the Confederacy, and he rips the cipher's pages from the diary in order to burn them. O'Loughlin shoots Thomas Gates and flees with just one surviving page fragment, while the dying Thomas tells his son, Charles, the key word for the cipher. It's now over 140 years later, and famed treasure hunter Benjamin Franklin Gates tells Thomas's story at a civilian heroes conference, where a black market dealer named Mitch Wilkinson produces the page fragment with Thomas Gates's name next to those of Mary Surratt and Dr. Samuel Mudd. Now, this revelation leads the public to believe that Thomas helped kill Lincoln, leaving Ben and his father Patrick to try and disprove it. Using spectral imaging, Ben discovers traces of the cipher on the diary page, and when solved using the keyword, points to the smaller Statue of Liberty located in Paris, France. Upon traveling there, Ben, along with his friend Riley Poole, discover an engraving on the statue which references the Resolute desks, one of which is in Buckingham Palace in London, England, while the other desk resides in the White House. Ben and Riley head to London, where they end up reluctantly recruiting Ben's estranged girlfriend, Dr. Abigail Chase, along the way. Now, Ben and Abigail are able to sneak a peek at the Buckingham Palace desk and obtain a pre Columbian carved plank from a secret drawer. However, Mitch, who has secretly cloned Patrick's phone in order to track Ben's whereabouts, pursues the trio and obtains the plank after Ben photographs it. Meanwhile, back in America, Patrick reluctantly asks his ex wife, archaeolexologist Dr. Emily Appleton, for her assistance, while Ben and Abigail convince Abigail's new boyfriend, Connor, who is a White House curator, to let them see the Resolute desk within the Oval Office. While Ben searches out the desk, he discovers that the second plank has already been discovered and replaced by a stamp of an altered presidential seal, which Riley identifies as the symbol for a secret shared diary written by presidents, for presidents, and containing such controversial topics such as Watergate, Area 51, and the JFK assassination. Ben then crashes the President of the United States' birthday party at Mount Vernon in order to convince the president to explore a secret tunnel with him. Once inside the tunnel underneath Mount Vernon, Ben activates a secret sliding door which separates the president from his Secret Service guards. And then Ben proceeds to ask him about the book, all while safely leading the president to safety at the other end of the tunnel. The president sympathetically warns Ben that his actions, while innocent in their nature, will be interpreted as an attempted kidnapping. The president then reveals that the book is hidden in a safe within the Library of Congress. Now being pursued by the FBI, Ben, Abigail, and Riley manage to score a brief look at the book. Inside the book, they find a photograph of the missing plank, along with an entry from President Calvin Coolidge, who found the plank in 1924, had it translated, and then destroyed. Coolidge then commissioned Gutzon Borglum to carve Mount Rushmore in order to hide the evidence of a treasure hidden nearby. After consulting Emily about the hieroglyphs, Ben, Riley, Abigail, and Patrick head to Mount Rushmore, where they encounter Mitch, who has now kidnapped Emily as an insurance policy. Mitch has already acquired, memorized, and destroyed the final clue in hopes that he can claim the treasure. He helps the group find the entrance of a cave that is full of booby traps. After briefly getting separated, the group finds a pit that contains Cibola, the Native American city of gold. But when an ancient dam falls, it becomes clear that one member of the group must sacrifice themselves in the quickly flooding cave in order to hold the door open for the others to escape. Mitch does so, but he begs Ben to give him posthumous credit for finding the treasure so that he can be in the history books too. Ben and the rest of the group return to the surface where the president prevents Ben from being arrested by claiming that Ben saved him from the tunnel's accidental closing. Ben ensures that Mitch receives joint credit for the discovery, rekindles his relationship with Abigail, and clears the name of Thomas Gates by proving that Booth had consulted him about the treasure and not about the assassination as our movie comes to its end. So, much like I said about the original, I love how this movie takes little pieces of history, layers it upon each other to make this glorious scavenger hunt for treasure. You've got the assassination of President Lincoln, you've got John Wilkes Booth, you've got Mount Rushmore, you've got Cibola and the City of Gold, you've got conspiracies being thrown around like Area 51, Watergate, JFK. There's so much, once again, to unpack and utilize in this, but at no point do you feel like you're overburdened with historical fact and folklore. Again, whether the city of Cibola actually exists and the treasure is real, honestly, it's the furthest thing from my mind. I just enjoy the adventure, the roller coaster ride that you're taken on. And as I mentioned on Wednesday, Riley has his moment in this film when he tells them about the secret book, and nobody wants to believe him. Ben doesn't believe him, Abigail doesn't believe him, Patrick doesn't believe him. He knows this book exists, but nobody believes him. And he even tells Ben, at this point, you would have less evidence, and I would already believe you. I have all of this information, all these facts about it, and you don't want to believe me. And it's in that moment that Riley really shines, and Ben, I feel, begins to take him seriously, not just as a friend and a sidekick, but as a partner throughout all these journeys that he goes on. And that's one of the main reasons why I hope that he comes back with this series that's supposed to be premiering on Disney Plus. Riley is the heartbeat of this franchise, without question, in my opinion. What do you guys think about that statement? Do you find there's logic in what I'm saying, or do you feel it's just a hot take and it's one man's opinion? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. Watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. When it comes to my rating for this film, it's not as high as I gave the original because I don't like it as much as I enjoy the original, but I still love it on all kinds of levels. 4 out of 5 stars. Only taken a half a star off in my rating for the sequel as opposed to the original. That shows you how good I feel the sequel is. 9 times out of 10, sequels are nowhere near the level of the original. Very rarely do we find sequels that equate or surpass the original. Does this one surpass the original? No, but I think it comes pretty darn close to being on equal ground, for my opinion. Again, what do you think? If you're watching the premiere, thoughts and comments over here. On demand, thoughts and comments down here. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, where I take a look at the brand new film White Elephant, starring Michael Rooker, Bruce Willis, and John Malkovich, amongst others. You're not going to want to miss out on that one. Right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right back here on another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews when I take a look at the new release, White Elephant. As always, to all my loyal fans and viewers out there, thank you for tuning in, joining me this evening, this afternoon, wherever it is, whatever time it is when you're watching this. Thank you. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this video with family, friends, movie lovers, cinephiles, people who love America's history, presidential dramas, etc. Get this film out there to the people that are going to enjoy watching me talk about it. Help me get boosted up in the YouTube algorithms so I can get monetized by the end of the year. Thank you once again for everyone who joined me here today, and I will see you guys next time.